The lights of Las Vegas burned brighter than ever inside the T-Mobile Arena, the roar of the crowd shaking the walls as the UFC's biggest female rivalry prepared for its defining chapter. Months of build-up, interviews, and heated training camps had all led to this moment, the trilogy between Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. The air was thick with tension, anticipation, and emotion. This wasn't just about the belt anymore. It was about redemption, pride, and legacy. Valentina Shevchenko walked out first, her signature composure radiating from every step. The cold focus in her eyes told the story of a woman who had dedicated her life to the pursuit of perfection. She was the embodiment of discipline, a fighter who had dominated the division for years until one shocking night when Alexa Grasso submitted her and ended her reign. That loss still burned in her memory. Tonight, she wasn't just fighting an opponent, she was fighting doubt, history, and the part of herself that had been questioned ever since. Across the arena, Alexa Grasso made her entrance to thunderous applause. Mexican flags waved across the stands, chants of Viva Mexico echoing through the arena. She was a champion born of resilience, a woman who had risen through the ranks with quiet determination, who had shocked the world once, and who had fought Shevchenko to a draw in their rematch. But this third fight was her moment to prove that she was no accidental champion. She was here to cement her legacy, not just defend it. When Bruce Buffer's booming voice filled the arena, both women stood in the center of the octagon, eyes locked, the tension between them almost visible. There was no smile, no bluff touch, no hesitation. Just two warriors who had studied each other for years, about to write the final chapter of their shared story. The referee gave his final instructions, stepped back, and with a sharp wave of his hand, the fight began. The co-main event of the evening featured the highly anticipated trilogy between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. Both fighters stood equal in height at 5 feet 5 inches and came in on weight, but Shevchenko held a slight reach advantage. As the bell rang, the atmosphere was electric, and referee Mark Smith signaled the start of the fight. In the opening round, Shevchenko showcased her elite counter-striking, landing clean left hands every time Grasso tried to close the distance. Using her experience and precision, Valentina perfectly timed a takedown midway through the round, controlling Grasso on the ground. Though Grasso threatened with arm bars and triangles, Shevchenko maintained composure and positional dominance until the end of the round. Round 2 continued much the same way. Shevchenko immediately shot for a takedown and controlled from top position. Grasso's jiu-jitsu looked dangerous at times, but Shevchenko's balance and defense were impeccable. Her transitions were smooth, passing guard and landing short elbows to keep Grasso on the defensive. It was another clear round for Valentina. By the third round, Shevchenko's rhythm was undeniable. Her jab, body kicks, and counters were perfectly timed, keeping Grasso guessing. She mixed in her wrestling flawlessly, scoring multiple takedowns and showing why she's considered one of the most complete fighters in MMA history. Grasso's submission attempts were valiant, but Valentina's control was superior from every position. In the fourth, Grasso went for a tight guillotine choke that brought the crowd to its feet, but the bullet stayed calm, escaped the danger, and quickly reversed position. She pressed forward with ground and pound and nearly locked in an arm triangle. Her grappling and wrestling were simply on another level, with total ground control approaching 3 full rounds by this point. The final round saw Shevchenko continue her dominance. Knowing Grasso needed a finish, Valentina stayed composed, defended well, and scored her 8th takedown of the fight, marking a career-best performance. She maintained top position until the final horn, sealing one of her most decisive victories ever. When the judges' scorecards were read, all three had it 50-45 for Valentina Shevchenko, making her once again the undisputed UFC Women's Flyweight Champion of the world. With over 15 minutes of ground control, an 81% striking accuracy, and perfect submission defense, Shevchenko's performance was a masterclass, a true display of skill, patience, and championship composure. On the mat, the bullet's dominance grew. She seamlessly transitioned from half-guard to side control, using her legs to trap Grasso's hips while landing elbows to the head and ribs. Grasso tried to tie up Shevchenko's wrists, looking for space, but Valentina's pressure was relentless. Every time Alexa tried to move, Valentina shut her down. It was a display of pure technical mastery, the kind that only years of championship experience could produce. By the end of the second round, the difference in control and composure was becoming clear. The third round started with Grasso throwing everything she had. She pushed the pace, landed combinations, and tried to disrupt Valentina's rhythm. She landed a left hook that briefly caught Shevchenko's attention, and the crowd roared in excitement. For a few exchanges, the two women went toe-to-toe, trading punches in the center of the octagon. But Shevchenko, calm as ever, adjusted again. She began punishing Grasso with inside leg kicks, keeping her at range with her jab, and when the timing was perfect, she shot in for another takedown. This time, she dominated from top control with near-surgical precision. She advanced position effortlessly, first into half guard, then side control, and eventually mount. From there, she landed steady ground and pound, cutting Grasso above the eyebrow with a sharp elbow. Blood trickled down, and the crowd gasped. But Grasso, ever the warrior, refused to quit. She kept moving, kept defending, and even tried to create scrambles, but Shevchenko's control was flawless. When the horn sounded, Valentina had already built an enormous lead. The fourth round brought the most dramatic moment of the fight. Knowing she needed to change the momentum, Alexa came out swinging, connecting with a solid right hand that shook Valentina for a brief moment. Smelling opportunity, she jumped into a guillotine choke as Shevchenko changed levels for another takedown. The arena erupted, thousands of fans on their feet, as Grasso squeezed with all her strength. For a few seconds, it looked tight. It looked dangerous. But Valentina, the consummate veteran, stayed calm under pressure. She adjusted her posture, slipped her head free, and smoothly reversed position. The entire crowd gasped as the bullet transitioned into side control, then full mount, flipping the script once again. The arena lights dimmed, the roar of thousands echoed through the T-Mobile Arena, and the tension in the air could be felt like electricity. This was not just another UFC event, this was the highly anticipated trilogy between Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso, a fight that symbolized more than championship gold. It represented legacy, revenge, pride, and the culmination of years of rivalry between two of the greatest female fighters in mixed martial arts history. Fans from around the world had tuned in, eager to witness whether Shevchenko could reclaim her title or if Grasso would prove once again that she belonged at the top. Valentina Shevchenko's entrance was as cold and calculated as ever. Dressed in her signature black and gold, she walked toward the octagon with calm precision, her expression unreadable, her focus unbreakable. She had been here many times before, under the bright lights, facing the pressure of championship expectations, but this time it felt different. This was personal. Losing to Grasso had been a wound to her pride, a moment that had haunted her since it happened. Across the cage, Alexa Grasso made her entrance to a thunderous roar of Mexican fans waving flags and chanting her name. She was composed but determined, her confidence forged by the victories and challenges that came with being champion. She had shocked the world once, defended her title with heart, and now stood ready to prove she wasn't a one-hit wonder. When the referee called them to the center, the air grew still. Both women stared into each other's eyes, their emotions hidden behind years of discipline and preparation. The bell rang, and the final chapter of their rivalry began. Round 3 began with the crowd sensing that Valentina was in full command. Grasso tried to rally, showing courage and aggression, landing a few solid shots early. She caught Shevchenko with a right hand that momentarily pushed her back, but the bullet recovered instantly and responded with a sharp counter left. Valentina then mixed in leg kicks, body kicks, and feints that froze Grasso in place. Her timing was impeccable, her accuracy elite. About 2 minutes in, Shevchenko once again shot for a takedown, perfectly set up by a fake jab, and secured it without resistance. From there, she continued her ground dominance, effortlessly controlling position while landing steady shots to the body and head. Grasso attempted a triangle choke from the bottom, but Valentina escaped with ease, using her hips and balance to stay in control. She continued to advance position and punish Grasso with elbows. The difference in grappling